Have you ever looked up at the sky after a gentle rain shower, and suddenly a magnificent arch of bright colors appeared?
It's like magic, isn't it?
A giant painted bridge reaching from one side of the horizon to the other. Well, that magical arch is called a rainbow. But what exactly is a rainbow?
Is it really a bridge to a pot of gold, like the old stories say?
Not quite.
A rainbow is one of nature's most beautiful science shows. It's an optical phenomenon, which is a fancy way of saying it is something amazing that happens when light plays tricks on our eyes, making us see incredible things.
For a rainbow to appear, we need three very special ingredients: brilliant sunlight, tiny water droplets, and you, the observer, standing in just the right spot. Without all three, this spectacular light show just won't happen.
Let's dive into the fascinating science of how a rainbow paints itself across the sky.
Imagine sunlight as a busy, super-fast highway.
We usually see sunlight as plain white or perhaps a soft yellow, right?
But here's a cool secret. One of nature's biggest surprises. That seemingly plain white sunlight is actually made up of all the colors of the rainbow, all mixed together perfectly. Think of it like a secret recipe for light, where vibrant red, cheerful orange, sunny yellow, lively green, calm blue, mysterious indigo, and royal violet are all mixed into one big, bright, dazzling smoothie. Our eyes usually can't see them separately because they're blended so smoothly, racing past us as one white beam.
Now for the second essential ingredient, water droplets.
After it rains, or sometimes when there's a gentle mist, or even near a waterfall, countless tiny little droplets of water float in the air. These droplets are incredibly small, much tinier than a single grain of rice, but they are absolutely essential. Each one acts like a tiny, perfect little glass marble or a miniature prism, ready to bend and separate the light. And these tiny water droplets are the true superstars of our rainbow show. Here's where the magic, or rather, the amazing science happens.
When a ray of white sunlight approaches and then hits one of these tiny water droplets, a few things happen very quickly and precisely. First, the light bends as it enters the droplet.
This bending of light is called refraction.
Imagine you're running in a straight line, super fast, and then you suddenly run from smooth pavement into a patch of thick, sticky mud.
You'd probably slow down and change direction a little, wouldn't you?
That's exactly what happens to light when it goes from there, which light travels easily through, into the denser water.
It slows down and bends.
But here is the cleverest part. Not all colors of light bend by the exact same amount.
Remember how white light is a mix of all those colors.
When white sunlight enters the water droplet, each specific color bends just a tiny bit differently.
Red light, which has the longest wavelength, bends the least, and violet light, with the shortest wavelength, bends the most. This small, crucial difference is super important because it starts to spread out the colors, gently fanning them out like opening a beautiful, multicolored fan or separating a deck of shuffled cards.
Once the light is inside the water droplet and has been bent and slightly separated, it travels to the back of the droplet. When it reaches the inner surface at the very back, what happens then?
Most of the light doesn't pass through.
Instead, it bounces off the back of the droplet, just like a bouncy ball hitting a smooth, curved wall.
This bouncing back of light is called reflection. The water droplet is acting like a tiny mirror for the sunlight. After reflecting off the back of the droplet, the light travels back towards the front. And guess what? As it leaves the water droplet and goes back out into the air, it bends again. This is another round of refraction.
Because each color has already been separated a little bit when it first entered, this second bend separates them even more, making the distinct colors truly visible. By the time the light leaves the droplet and travels straight to your eye, all the colors have been perfectly fanned out into a beautiful, distinct spectrum: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet.
So, you see, a rainbow isn't a solid thing you can touch or walk under. It's not a physical object hanging in the sky. Instead, it's an optical illusion, a magical trick of light and water that your eyes perceive.
It's like a breathtaking picture painted by light itself. And because it's an illusion, every single person sees a slightly different rainbow, made by light bouncing of different water droplets, unique to their own eyes and their exact position.
Isn't that amazing?
Here are some more fun facts about rainbows that make them even more incredible. Did you know that you can only see a rainbow if the sun is behind you and the rain or water mist is in front of you? That's because of the very specific angles at which the light bends and reflects inside the raindrops. The sun's rays need to hit the raindrops at precisely the right angle for the light to bend just right and send those beautiful, separated colors back directly to your eyes. So, next time you spot a rainbow, turn around and see if the sun is sparkling brightly behind you.
Another cool fact. A rainbow is actually a full circle. We usually only see half of it, or an arch, because the other half is below the horizon, hidden by the ground beneath our feet. But if you were very high up, like in an airplane or on a very tall mountain, and the conditions were just right, you might be lucky enough to see a rainbow as a complete, perfect circle, stretching all the way around.
How absolutely cool is that? Sometimes, if you're very observant and conditions are just perfect, you might even spot a double rainbow. This happens when sunlight reflects twice inside the water droplets instead of just once.
The second rainbow, often called a secondary rainbow,
is usually fainter and appears slightly above the first one.
What is really neat is that it has its colors in reverse order: violet on the outside and red on the inside.
It's like a beautiful, faded echo of the first, primary rainbow. And it's not always sunshine and rain that create these wonders.
Sometimes on a very bright moonlit night, especially when the moon is full, you might even see a moonbow. Moonbows are much fainter than sun rainbows because moonlight isn't as bright as direct sunlight.
They often look mostly white or grey to our eyes because there isn't enough light for our eyes to see all the individual colors distinctly.
But they are still true rainbows, created by moonlight hitting water droplets. Rainbows matter to us because they are simply one of the most beautiful and inspiring sights in nature. They remind us of the incredible wonders that are happening all around us every single day, and the amazing science that exists in everything from a tiny water droplet to a beam of light.
They teach us that even something seemingly plain, like white light or a simple rain shower, can hold so much hidden beauty and complexity when we look closely.
They spark our imagination and make us wonder about the world, encouraging us to ask, how does that work? They are a universal symbol of hope, a promise of beauty after a storm, and a colorful, cheering message from the sky.
So, the next time you see a rainbow, don't just see a pretty picture.
Remember the amazing scientific journey that sunlight takes, bending and reflecting through countless tiny water droplets to create that breathtaking arc of colors just for you.
It's a natural masterpiece, a cosmic painting, and a perfect example of how science makes the world more wonderful and full of magic. What other amazing natural wonders do you want to learn about?
What questions does the world spark in your mind? Let us know in the comments below.
We love hearing from you.